Internally displaced people or persons are people who are forced to flee their home but who remain in their country's borders. So therefore, IDPs, internally displaced persons, are migrants who, like refugees, move away from home, but IDPs stay in their country. So it's a significant number of migrants who actually don't leave the country like refugees do, but they go to some other part of the country for safety reasons. IDPs. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about how immigration can both hurt and help a country. On the hurt side, what does immigration do that hurts? Well, people who are talented with energy and skill, brains, basically are lost to the country, and we call that brain drain. When people who are talented and skillful and smart leave the country, we call that brain drain. How does immigration help? Well, immigrants seek remittances, or I should say they send remittances back home. Remittances is that term we used before. We saw that in God Grew Tired of Us with the Lost Boys. They send money called remittances back home, and that greatly helps their families in their original countries. The other thing that immigration does that can be helpful is that sometimes people actually go back home and they bring their skills and their experience and all the expertise that they've gained, and they call that brain gain. So when people go back home, we call that brain gain. And a country like Sudan, for example, if one of the Lost Boys comes, gets educated, gets experience in America, and then they go back home, that is a gain for Sudan, right? So they call that brain gain. Brain drain, loss of smart people, talented people. Brain gain is when people go back and advantage the country. Okay. Now here's a question that is often asked. Should America increase the level of legal immigration? We're not talking about illegal immigration here, we're talking about legal immigration. For those who say no to that answer, or that question I should say, people say that more immigrants mean that there's a chance of criminals, terrorists, drug dealers, and so forth. President Trump talked about that when he first announced to become president back in 2015. Immigrants consume government resources and pay few or no taxes, is the argument. That immigrants basically are a drain on our system. Immigration is destroying the national identity. Now that's a controversial idea because our country has always been formed by immigration. I mean, we've always had immigrants coming to our country and shaping our national identity. That's why we call the United States an immigrant nation. But a lot of people who are sort of hardcore anti-immigration feel that immigrants are going to destroy who we are as a people. Controversial topic. Immigration to the U.S. hurts the home countries, which lose good people, which we just described before as brain drain. And less skilled Americans must compete with immigrants for the few job opportunities that exist. So these are arguments against allowing immigrants to come into our country legally. And just for the record, the United States allows about 1 million legal immigrants into our country every year, roughly about 1 million. For people who say, yes, we should increase the level of legal immigration, here are some of the arguments that they use. Intelligent, ambitious people bring skills and abilities to our shores. They come and really we get sort of the brightest, the most ambitious people when they immigrate to our country, and we benefit from such people. It increases our diversity and expands our culture. We have Cinco de Mayo, we have lots of immigrant holidays that we celebrate and enjoy. So we become a more diverse society. They do jobs that Americans don't want to do. They also start a lot of businesses. Immigrants are ambitious people who want to start businesses, and so they do that, and that's a real advantage to us. It improves the image of America as a welcoming country, which is nice to see in the world. Their cheap labor helps businesses thrive, It leads to lower prices for all of us. And it gives struggling people all over the world an opportunity for a better life. So immigration is seen as a positive thing, and here are some of the main reasons why. It's also seen as negative, according to some people that don't want any more immigrants coming into our country. Okay, there's a concept called migration streams. A migration stream basically refers to the constant flow of migrants from one country into another country. A migration stream. Immigration to the United States has numerous streams. As we've discussed before, the biggest stream comes from Latin America, from Central and South America, primarily Central America. But we also get immigrants coming from Asia, from the Middle East, from Africa, and these are called migration streams. Why do we use the metaphor of a stream? Well, streams can be, like migration, continuous, rapid, wide, steady, smooth, or sometimes rough. So migration streams are basically the idea that people come from all over the world, sometimes in rapid fashion, sometimes steadily, sometimes it's a smooth transition, sometimes it's a rough transition. But that's a common phrase, a migration stream. And again, the biggest migration stream to us in the United States is from Central America. Okay, now there's a couple of ideas here that I want to run by you. When you talk about people who have come into the United States illegally, right? They've come without paperwork, they're undocumented, they snuck into the United States. The question is what to do with those people. They've broken laws, and people who are strongly against illegal immigration say, send them home, deport them, right? That's the key. Well, people who take an opposite, opposing view discuss amnesty, which means pardon or forgiveness. They say provide a path to legal citizenship for illegal immigrants so that they can be naturalized. Give them a chance that allow them to vote, to receive government benefits like unemployment insurance and Social Security benefits, and it'll allow them to bring fellow family members into the country. And it allows them to stay and not be deported if they commit a crime. This position is called amnesty, basically pardoning or forgiving them for the crime they committed of coming into the United States illegally. Amnesty. It's a major idea. And generally speaking, liberals, Democrats, are more likely to be in favor of amnesty. They may say that they need to pay fines, they need to pay back taxes, things along those lines, but they say give them a chance to become legal, full citizens, naturalized citizens of the United States. People who are anti-illegal immigration are anti-amnesty. Okay, now, the idea called sanctuary cities. A sanctuary city is a city in the United States, sometimes also Canada, that has adopted a policy of protecting illegal immigrants by not prosecuting them solely for violating federal immigration laws in our country, which they're now living in illegally. So a sanctuary is a safe place, and there are dozens of sanctuary cities. It happens that Philadelphia is one such sanctuary city. And sanctuary cities are safe places that allow immigrants to not be turned over to federal authorities if they commit, for example, a traffic violation or some minor crime. They have safety. They can be they enjoy sanctuary in those cities. And so this is a controversial topic. A lot of people, like President Trump, are opposed to sanctuary cities. Cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, Philadelphia, these are all sanctuary cities that will not turn over people who are illegal immigrants if they get caught, speeding or committing some kind of traffic violation or something minor like that. Sanctuary cities. Okay, now, The final term that I want to discuss here is called a mixed status family. A mixed status family is a family whose members include people with different citizenship or immigration statuses. That is to say that they have some family members who are legal and some who are illegal. That was the case in that 30 days video of the guy who went and stayed with an illegal immigrant family in Los Angeles. We saw that about a week ago. That was a mixed status family. Some of the members were illegal immigrants who snuck into the country, and some were fully full citizens because they were born, some of the children were born in the United States. And according to the 14th Amendment, you are a legal citizen if you're born in the United States. So an example of a mixed status family is one in which the parents are undocumented while the children who were born in the United States are full citizens because they were born here. That's a mixed status family. So that's the information I wanted to touch on with you. Tonight I'm going to be asking you to read, or I should say tomorrow, because this is going to be for tomorrow, for Friday. I'm asking you to read an article called Two Sisters, Two Americas, which is about a mixed status family. We'll be having a video conference sometime early next week or midweek as we move into our new unit called Genocide, and also plan to have a test on Monday or Tuesday of next week. So more on that you'll see, but I'm planning to probably have the test on Monday. Okay, so hope you're all well. Take care.